Hey everybody, we're going to keep going. We are on chapter 6, page 11. Chapter is called The Littlest Big Top on Earth. My neighbors here at the Big Top Mall know many tricks. They are an educated lot, more accomplished than I am. One of my neighbors plays baseball, though she is a chicken. Another drives a fire truck, although he is a rabbit. I used to have a neighbor, a sleek and thoughtful seal, who could balance a ball on her nose from dawn until dusk. Her voice was like the throaty bark of a dog chained outside on a cold night. Orp, orp. Children wished on pennies and tossed them into her plastic pool. They glowed on the bottom like flat copper stones. The seal was hungry one day, or bored, or perhaps so she ate 100 pennies. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think she'll be okay? Mac said she'd be fine. He was mistaken. He was wrong. So she wasn't okay. Mac calls our show the littlest big top on earth. Every day at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and at 7, humans fan themselves, drink sodas, and applaud. What does applaud mean? It means clapping. Babies wail. What do you think babies do? What does wail mean? Do you guys know? They cry. Mac, dressed like a clown, pedals a tiny bike. A dog named Snickers rides on Stella's back. Stella sits on a stool. It is a very sturdy stool. Why do they make a point of saying it's so sturdy and strong? Because what is Stella? What kind of an animal? She's an elephant. That'd have to be a very strong stool to hold an elephant. I don't do any tricks. Max says it's enough for me to be me. Stella told me that some circuses move from town to town. They have humans who dangle on ropes, twining from the tops of tents. They have grumbling lions with gleaming teeth and a snaking line of elephants, each clutching the limp tail in front of her. The elephants look far off into the distance so they won't see the humans who want to see them. Have you guys ever been to a circus? Our circus doesn't migrate. That means it doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere. We sit where we are, like an old beast too tired to push on. After our show, humans forage through the stores. That means they search, kind of. A store is where humans buy things they need to survive. At the Big Top Mall, some stores sell new things like balloons and t-shirts and caps to cover the gleaming heads of humans. Some stores sell old things, things that smell dusty and damp and long forgotten. All day I watch humans scurry from store to store. They pass their green paper, dry as old leaves, and smelling of 1,000 hands, back and forth, back and forth. What is the green paper they're talking about, do you think? Money. Yeah, money. They hunt frantically, stalking, pushing, grumbling. Then they leave, clutching bags filled with things. Bright things, soft things, big things, but no matter how full the bags are, they always come back for more. Humans are clever indeed. They spin pink clouds that you can eat. What do you think those are? Pink clouds that you can eat. It's cotton candy. They build domains with flat waterfalls. But they are lousy hunters. Chapter 7, gone. Some animals live privately, unwatched, but that is not my life. My life is flashing lights and pointing fingers and uninvited visitors inches away. Humans flatten their little hands on the screen, on the wall of glass that separates us. The glass says, you are this, and we are that, and that is how it will always be. Humans leave their fingerprints behind, sticky with candy, slick with sweat. Each night a weary man comes to wipe them away. Sometimes I press my nose against the glass. My nose print, like your fingerprints, is the first and last and only one, because he's the only gorilla. The man wipes the glass, and then I am gone. Chapter 8, Artists, page 15. Here in my domain, I do not have much to do. You can only throw so many meatballs at humans before you get bored. Meatballs. Do you guys remember what those are? They're balls of poop. They throw them. A meatball is made of rolling up dung until it is the size of a small apple, and then you let it dry. And I always keep a few on hand. Do you guys keep a few dung balls on hand? Yeah, I don't have any. For some reason, my visitors never seem to carry any. In my domain, I have a tire swing, a baseball, a tiny plastic pool filled with dirty water, and even an old TV. What kinds of things do you have in your domain? Look around your bedroom. I have a stuffed toy gorilla, too. Julia, the daughter of the weary man who cleans the small every night, gave it to me. The gorilla has empty eyes and floppy limbs, but I sleep with it every night, and I call it Not Tag. Tag was my twin sister's name. Julia, so we just found out something interesting about Ivan, that he had a twin sister, and her name was Tag. I wonder what happened to her. It's kind of cool that he remembers her. Julia is 10 years old. She has hair like black glass and a wide half-moon smile. She and I have a lot in common. We are both great apes, and we are both artists. Does it surprise you that Ivan is an artist? Kind of surprised. It was Julia who gave me my very first crayon, a stubby blue one slipped through the broken spot in my glass, along with a folded piece of paper. I knew what to do with it. I'd watched Julia draw. When I dragged the crayon across the paper, it left a trail in its wake like a slithering blue snake. Julia's drawings are wild with color and movement. She draws things that aren't real, clouds that smile and cars that swim. She draws until her crayons break and her paper rips. Her pictures are like pieces of a dream. I can't draw dreamy pictures. I never remember my dreams, although I sometimes awaken with my fists clenched and my heart hammering. Does that sound like a dream or a nightmare? My drawings seem pale and timid next to Julia's. She draws the ideas in her head. I draw the things in my cage, simple things. Items that fill my days: an apple core, a banana peel, a candy wrapper. I often eat my subjects before I draw them. But even though I draw the same things over and over again, I never get bored with my art. When I'm drawing, that's all I think about. I don't think about where I am, about yesterday or tomorrow. I just move my crayons across the paper. It's like an escape for him when he's drawing. He can not be in his cage. Humans don't always seem to recognize what I've drawn. They squint, cock their heads, and murmur. I'll draw a banana, a perfectly lovely banana, and they'll say, "Oh, a yellow airplane," or "It's a duck without wings." That's all right. I'm not drawing for them. I'm drawing for me. Max soon realized that people will pay money for my picture made by a gorilla, even if they don't know what it is. Now I draw every day. My works sell for $20 a piece, $25 with a frame, at the gift shop near my domain. If I get tired and need a break, I eat my crayons. Page 19, Chapter 9, Shapes in Clouds. I think I've always been an artist. Even as a baby, still clinging to my mother, I had an artist's eye. I saw shapes in the clouds and sculptures in the tumbled stones at the bottom of a stream. I grabbed at colors: the crimson flower just out of reach, the ebony bird streaking past. Thinking back to a time maybe before he was in that cage, when he was free. He remembers his mom. I don't remember much about my early life, but I do remember this. Whenever I got the chance, I would dip my fingers into cool mud and use my mother's back for a canvas. She was a patient soul, my mother. Chapter 10, Imagination. Someday I hope I can draw the way Julia draws, imagining worlds that don't exist yet. I know what most humans think. They think gorillas don't have imaginations. They think we don't remember our past or ponder our futures. Come to think of it, I suppose they have a point. Mostly, I think about what is, not what could be, I've learned not to get my hopes up. Chapter 11, the loneliest gorilla in the world. When the Big Top Mall was first built, it smelled of new paint and fresh hay, and humans came to visit from morning until night. They drifted past my domain like logs on a lazy river. Lately, a day might go by without a single visitor. Max says he's not worried. Max says he is worried. That makes more sense. He is worried. He says, I am not cute anymore. He says, Ivan, you've lost your magic, old guy. You used to be a hit. It's true that some of my visitors do not linger the way they used to. They stare through the glass and they cluck their tongues. They frown while I watch my television. He looks lonely, they say. Not long ago, a little boy stood before my glass, tears streaming down his smooth red cheeks. He must be the loneliest gorilla in the world, he said, clutching his mother's hand. At times like that, I wish humans could understand me the way that I can understand them. It's not so bad, I wanted to tell the little boy. With enough time, you can get used to almost anything.